looking bright for the Fairbury Journal News. Keep on watching for big announcements.
Good morning, Jefferson County. Matt Saxton here for Fairbury TV. I have Megan Sothan in the studio today to talk about her new role as Interim Director of the Jefferson County Historical Society. Welcome, Megan.
Hi, thank you, Matt.
My first question for you is about your new role. What will you be doing as Interim Director?
As Interim Director, I will be handling the day-to-day operations of the Jefferson County Historical Society, doing things like answering the phones, making sure that the buildings are open when they're scheduled to be open, and contacting service providers or other entities that we need to contact as part of our day-to-day operations.
Okay. And of course, now you're a officer on the board.
Yes, I am currently serving as the interim vice president until the annual members meeting in October.
Okay. And in October, the members will vote for either to keep the board as is or for new board members.
Yes, with the structure of the Historical Society, the members have a voice in choosing their board members.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the annual members meeting in October, they will be able to vote on who they want to be their board and their officers on their board of directors.
Should the public expect any changes now that the temporary board is in place?
I would not say that they should expect any immediate changes as in buildings closing or anything like that. We plan on keeping the day-to-day operations running, so all of the museum's hours and all of the events that are scheduled will continue on as planned. The only changes, I hope, would be for the better. We hope to get things organized, that way we can run smoothly. We hope in the future to have better contact with our members and volunteers. And so hopefully, I think folks, just keep their eyes open in the future and see what's going on with the Historical Society. We're definitely just trying to keep things moving forward and to make everything a little bit better.
Okay. Do you have any experience managing a nonprofit as a director, interim director, or any of the above?
I have some experience. I've worked in the fields of museum studies and historic preservation.
I see.
In the past, I have worked as an employee at different museums. I have worked as a living historian, helping to interpret the history and move forward. So to answer the question, no, I don't have any direct experience managing a nonprofit, but I have worked for history-based nonprofits in the past and do have experience working in the museum field and working with historic interpretation.
One of the 5 board members who resigned said that his only comment was that they were in support of Denise, referring of course to Denise Anderson,
Yes.
who also resigned effective yesterday, effective immediately. And she had been the curator here at the Jefferson County Historical Society. She made the decision to resign amid the controversy involving some society funds and meeting minutes. Do you see these changes with the board that walked out last night and Denise's resignation? Do you see that as a positive or negative for the society, and why?
I will have to say, first off, I wish everybody the best in their future endeavors. And as speaking for myself as a board member, I can't speak for the whole board, but speaking for myself, I hope to move forward. I don't really want to say anything negative about the board. They did their duties and did what they thought was best for the society, and I believe we're working in the best interest of the society, and they've worked very hard. It's just these types of organizations take a lot of work and organization, and when you fall behind, it can be very hard to catch up. And so I don't want to place blame on anyone in particular, because I think it is a very difficult job, and we just want to continue to move forward. So I would like to say that the change will be for the positive, because we need to continue to move forward just to make the society better. Not saying that the previous board was negative to the society, but I think that we should just move forward and just work towards the positive and work together as a team to make the society better. So, I wish them all the best, and I do thank them for their efforts on the board, and to Ms. Anderson for, her position as curator for all that she did for the society.
Okay. You mentioned during the meeting last night that only 2 board members existed after the exit en masse. And of course, 4 of those board members had been present. 1 was not present and had sent in his resignation.
Yes.
And you were left without a quorum.
Yes.
At that point, the meeting had already been adjourned by the previous president after they had gone through the minutes and they had paid some bills. And then they adjourned the meeting and walked out in resignations, leaving their letters on the table. Do you think that the way that was handled without a quorum was appropriate, given the fact that they didn't have a quorum without calling another special meeting?
Yes, I think so, because there are provisions that are stated in the Historical Society's bylaws that they can continue without a quorum, and then the voting is just done by the majority of the board members that are left.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Do you, the president had adjourned a meeting after paying these bills, of course. Do you believe it was in the best interest of the Historical Society that those bills were paid, since you don't know really where all the money's going?
I think that it is in the best interest of the society that the bills were paid, so that day-to-day operations can continue.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just, getting those things done and keeping on track, I do think that it is in the society's best interest to, continue on and keep things moving.
What about the $1,000 payment to Denise? There's a state auditor involved in that, and plus the county had said they weren't going to give any more funds to the society without seeing minutes and seeing some of the finances. But then in the last set of bills, there was a $1,000 check written out to Denise herself. Do you have any concerns about that check?
Yes, I believe, there are concerns that have been brought up by the state auditor's office of lack of internal controls within the society. Mm-hmm. Do I believe that there was that it was premeditated or done on purpose? Not necessarily. I just think it's a matter of needing to be more organized, mm-hmm. and making sure that we're following all the checks and balances that contribute to the internal controls in the society. And so, I think that it's just, something that hadn't been brought up before, and it happened to be caught by the officials running the audit. And yes, I think there are concerns there, and we need to work to make sure that we have better internal controls moving forward as a society.
Okay. And you had even said, and several board members said this, and several members of the Historical Society who were there had said this, nobody's even ever seen this checkbook. They don't know how much money's in the bank. And you did share with me this morning something that came up as a concern last night, which is that you've been able to find at least one main key for all of the Historical Society buildings, but that you intend to, the society, the board intends to change the locks for security purposes because you don't know how many keys are floating out there. But you also still don't know where the money is, how much money is there. Nobody has signature privileges right now with the bank. How are you going to start resolving those issues?
Right. Well, our first thing to do is we are looking into the accounts right now as a board and getting that organized, contacting the bank mm-hmm. to mm-hmm. figure out, where the accounts lie, what money is in the accounts, and getting the signatures figured out, getting all previous checks and bills taken care of before the signatures are changed over to the new board members, and then getting those signatures changed. And I believe that that's actually going to be worked on today. Okay,
all right, so it'll be pretty much in the immediate future then.
Yes.
And you are going to have a special meeting coming up to resolve a number of outstanding issues.
Yes.
And that will be at 6:30 p.m. on July the 19th, is that
yes.
correct? That's a Tuesday,
yes,
right?
Yes, that is a Tuesday night.
Okay, all right. And you don't know the agenda yet, correct?
No, but as soon as we are able to come up with our agenda items, we will have that agenda posted, and it will be posted in 3 public places in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, and the public is invited to attend.
Okay, all right. Anything else you'd like to add?
Not at this time. But I would just like to thank, all of the present and past, volunteers and staff of the Historical Society, board members, just for, all the work that they've done, because, it is a large task, keeping a society like this going. And, it takes a lot of work, and it comes from a lot of people. It's not a job that can be done by just one person. I mean, it takes an effort, and, it takes a community that's involved, and, we've seen a lot of support coming into this, and with the changes that have happened through the society at this time. And so, it's just very encouraging to see that the community is involved, and people have been reaching out, offering volunteer services, and, it looks well to us moving forward in the future and making things better. And so, I want to say thank you to everybody that has, ever helped with the Historical Society, past, present, and future.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us here today, Megan. Really appreciate it, and good luck in your new position as Interim Director.
Thank you.
All right. This is Matt Saxton for Fairbury TV.